Baby's a little hot. Welcome to These Nutz Garage, and today we're going to be back out here working on the 1978 F350, and what we're going to be doing is removing the front suspension on the truck so that way we can get it down to just the bare frame. We're also going to be discussing this. I got this for Christmas, and this is a DeWalt 20 volt max half-inch impact driver. I have a 3/8 one that I use quite a bit, but this is a little bit bigger, and I've also got a new battery that is a Bluetooth. Never heard of a Bluetooth battery, but we're going to be checking this out today and putting it to good use, tearing the suspension apart. Now the first thing we're going to have to do, or what I did, is I took pictures of all these bolts, where they're located and what I'm going to be taking apart. And I have a Facebook page or group for this channel, and that's These Nutz Garage. And what I did early this morning is I posted those pictures on Facebook, so that way I don't have to worry about storing them in my phone or in my computer. I know they're on Facebook, so when I need to go back to start reassembling this, I can just jump back on my group, check out those pictures, and I'll know exactly where all these bolts went in case I forgot. But also going to be, when I disassembling this, back to the old bag it and tag it theory, is any bolts that I remove that I don't keep with the parts, I'm going to label them, and then I'm going to put them up in my shed so that way I know where they go. Even though I did take pictures, there's nothing wrong with having some sort of system of redundancy in it. So I think the first thing I'm going to have to do is start removing the sway bar linkage and all this stuff, and well, let's just get at it. I just have to show you. I can't stand here and talk about it all day. Let's get at it. Now, as I stated, I do have a this is a 3/8 DeWalt 20 volt max XR impact wrench. These things are extremely handy. This is the smaller one, so what I'm going to do is, this is just the sway bar linkage or something here, and I'm just going to try to take it apart. These bolts, I come out here this morning and put a little PBR blaster on them, or PB blaster maybe. I don't know what it's called. Well, there went the new one. That's how to treat your new tools, ain't it? So it's kind of hemming up on that, where it's, you can see there's a lot of rust, and maybe you can, maybe you can't. A lot of rust that's built up on this truck, so let's slap this new one on there and put some power to it. So it kind of pretty rusty. So I'm gonna zip it back down. So what I've done is I've kind of tightened it back up. I'm gonna go in here and get me a wire brush and kind of help remove some of this. But sometimes I got a piece of advice once that says sometimes you got to tighten a nut to loosen it. So woo, that baby's a little hot. So I do have some kind of neat news in a way. I'm going to be doing a giveaway here soon with some DeWalt product. It'll probably come in sometime in February when I'll announce it. So stay attuned to the channel and keep your ears out for that. It's going to be a special giveaway. It'll probably run about 3 to 6 months as I'm trying to build up subscribers to my channel. So and then one person, I'll go over the rules, how I'm going to give that one product away, and so stay tuned for that. Okay, so now what I'm trying to attempt to do is, you see me, I've unloosened this little bolt from this sway bar, And I'm going to try to drop this whole entire passenger side axle in one piece, where I keep the rotor, caliper, spindle, and the front axle all in one piece. That way when I get ready to work on it, it's still in one piece, and it'll be fresh on my mind how to reassemble it when I get to that point. So what I have to do is I have to loosen this bolt, which then maybe my axle will drop on this side. I'm gonna come around here and loosen this bolt. So what that's gonna do is, the only thing that's gonna be holding this suspension up, other than my jack, will probably be this spring, because I've already disconnected my shock. I still have to disconnect this brake line, but this little bolt. So I'm hoping when I release that bolt, I can be able to lower the axle down and push it out towards the front of the truck. So what I'm gonna do now is, I've already got my suspension linkage undone. I'm just gonna slide it out the side of the truck and I get back to working. That's that. All right, so what I've done here is, this is the aluminum brake line that runs from the frame to this bracket, and then from underneath it, the rubber hose runs down to the caliper. I'm trying to reuse this aluminum hose, clean it, and then reinstall it. But this is a little aluminum nut, and on the bottom of this bracket, where this rubber hose goes in, there's like a 5/8, I'll say nut, but it's the way the fitting is made, it's a 5/8 is what I have on the bottom here. And then on the top, if you try to use a open end wrench, what's gonna happen is it's gonna just round off the edges on this thing. And what I've done is I just used a good pair of vice grips, just really got it on 2 flat spots, and just, you know, tightened it up really good and squeezed it, and it broke free. So now I've got my crescent wrench. I'm just going to loosen this up as best I can. You can have an open end wrench if you want to. They're just out of my reach right now, so I was just using this crescent wrench. So now that I've got that broken free, there's a little, I guess you can see it, little lip right here. What I'm gonna do is take a little screwdriver and a hammer and just kind of knock that back. What that little retaining clip did is it allowed my rubber hose to, which is out of the camera sight, to break free, and now I can just put it out of the way. Now here's our last nut we need to take off for this side. This is a 15/16 nut. There's also the bolt that runs through it. I've got this, you can see this wrench on the back side. I don't know if it's going to need to be held or not, so let's just see. Apparently so. There we go. We've got this nut off. Now, I want to get this bolt through. I'm going to see if I can lightly start it with a little tapping. A little tap-tap-a-roo. And I should have my screwdriver here. To tap it on the rest of the way through. Now what I should be able to do is lower this frame, or this, not the frame, the axle, and be able to pull the whole front end out. So let's see if that'll work. All right, so the last bolt that I need to remove is going to be this bolt holding the spring on. Right now, this ladder, this jack and this spring is the only thing holding this front end up. So it's a 9/16. Let's just buzz it off. Set it to the side. Looks like there's another one also right here. So there's two of them that's holding it in place. Now it looks like it's gonna be a hard booger to get to. See if I can get on this side. It looks like the nut that's on the bottom side is made to this bracket, so it'd probably be better to take this one off first and then this one last. But I've never done this before, so we're all learning together. A little PBR blaster on. Or PB blaster. Man, I got beer on the brain. And that's it. Alrighty, so I've got both sides of the front axle and suspension components out from underneath this truck, and it was a pretty easy job. I will probably reassemble this unit just like the way it's sitting right here. That way it's easier to reinstall. A lot of times people have trouble putting these bushings on and getting this control arm, I think, that whatever this is technically called. If you know, tell me. This component, usually back in the truck with it all hooked up when they replace these bushings. So I'm just going to redo it like that. And then you can see that the bushings are just shot. Of course, this truck is 40 years old. The shocks are shot. You know, it's just none of this. This is all original. So I'll rebuild it and then reinstall it just like that. But with it off of the truck, it allows me to get in here and clean up all of these metal parts and parts of the frame that I couldn't get to, that in the way. I will make another video of me removing the rest of the front stuff, like the brake lines, fuel lines, this power steering, gearbox, and then maybe this clutch assembly. And then that way I can clean the whole entire front of the frame. And then my next project will be start working on the rear, where I have my dualies and the axles and the springs, get all that off. So that way I can move this frame around and be able to clean it up and get it ready for paint. So one last thing, you did see me in this video, I was using this DeWalt impact wrench. I have another one that I'm going to be purchasing very soon, and no, DeWalt is not a sponsor. Just a tool that I like. It works real handy, and I managed to get a banner with this battery, and I've not tried any of this, but this Bluetooth battery, it says you can connect to your phone to your batteries, so that way you can, I guess you can test see how much power you have, and see if the battery is good. And I think you can also, like, if somebody steals your battery, or if maybe a tool, you can actually go in on your phone, it says there, and disable your battery so it will not work. So if some thief wants to steal your stuff, you can get the last laugh on them. All right, thanks for watching These Nutz Garage. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make a comment if you've done any of the things that we've done today and you got any tips. Please put them down there. I'm learning this as well as maybe some of you. Another question is, I'm fixing to, when spring comes around, I'll start back working on my cab, and I'm trying to determine whether do I want to put the spray liner inside the cab as I did under the cab. So tell me what you think with that. Would you put that in there to kind of make it more durable? The interior will be black, and this stuff is also black. So let me know what you think about that. And I will be using the can stuff just like I did underneath. Another thing I've been kind of wondering is with the frame. Do I paint the frame, you know, just flat black, or maybe do I paint it a different color, maybe blue to match the truck? I don't know. Just let me know. I'm just trying to figure out things to do to the truck. And should I put aluminum wheels on it? That's the question. This truck has coined wheels, and I'm trying to, should I go ahead and spend the money to get the nice aluminum wheels and aluminum flatbed on it? So just tell me what you think on any of that. And have a great day, and see you in the next video.